record this, and here we go. So welcome. We are going to be walking through Kajabi step by step. This is going to be hopefully helpful for you to be able to get everything in alignment. The first thing I want to cover is that Kajabi is a different language. So you may have used WordPress, you may have used Squarespace, Thinkific, Teachable, ClickFunnels, MemberPress, whatever you've used. Know that when you sign into Kajabi, you may just feel a little bit disoriented because it is a different platform. So the first thing is, as with anything that you're learning new, don't get overwhelmed. Don't think that you're failing. Don't think any of that stuff. It's really very normal to feel that way, but please do not, because you're not the only one. Pretty much Kajabi is your all-in-one. So this is where you're going to host your website, your pages, your analytics, your blog, your product, your offers, your coupons, your pipelines, your affiliate center, your email list, your email marketing, email sequences. Everything is going to be here. So that's the exciting thing, is that you can literally eliminate all of your extra expenses. So when I moved over, I was on ClickFunnels. I hosted my courses on the video part of it on Vimeo. I had, I think I was using ActiveCampaign at the time. I mean, I had all kinds of things. So when I totaled it up, I was actually spending about $600 a month for my monthly expenses to manage everything, and Webinar Jam and all that stuff. So when I moved over, I cut down to, $134, and it was like, hallelujah. So it may feel like some people have the resistance of, oh, well, I can just use like Podia or this, and it's a lot less expensive per month. Absolutely, but it's very rare that everything is all in one. And I think one of the best things about it is that for your students in the future, they can access everything right here. So my students can just log in, consume whatever content they want. It's really handy for the lounge. It's handy for Podcast Weekly. And you don't have to worry. As someone who has tried building her own app, it's so much time and money and hours. Okay, enough blabbing. Let us start with settings. So you want to make sure that all of this is set up just so that you don't have to worry about it later. You're going to go into your site details, put in your custom domain. This is going to be a subdomain, so that's technically through Kajabi hosting, but you can actually set it up to be your main website, and Kajabi should walk you through that. So don't worry about that. You'll be able to use your custom domain. See how it says that right here? So just click here and follow those instructions. I believe it does it natively now. Otherwise, you can do it through Cloudflare. Really not too challenging. And I can definitely cover that maybe in a separate training in case you need that walkthrough as well. Be sure to put in your support email and make sure that you have access to this, because whenever you send mail to your students, to your list, this is where they're going to be responding. So make sure that that's all in one place. Obviously, set your language, set your currency. You can upload your logo. This will then appear on the footer of your entire site. So that's nice. Make sure it's a transparent background. And then you can choose your color palette if you wish. I don't really know if I mess with that too much. I just do it on the individual pages, but you absolutely can. Be sure to upload this, your instructor icon, because then with whatever products you create, this photo will be in there automatically. Saves a little bit of time, putting your name and your title. Then down the line, if you ever need it, you can put any scripts that you need to here, like my Pinterest tag is here, but you really don't need to worry about that right now. But just know that if you do need to put in a header page script, you hear that from somewhere, they say it has to be there, like for Pinterest, you can just throw it right there. SEO and sharing. I really like the fact that Kajabi is pretty SEO friendly, and I've been able to get ranked pretty easily on Google when it comes to visibility and publicity topics. And I just filled this out, and then on each page, like I'll show you in the future, you can just put in the page title and the page description, an image, and the rest takes care of itself. So do we have any questions on the site details? Just kind of give me and then I'll. Feeling clear? Okay. Helen, feeling clear? Okay. Fantastic. Then we're going to go into your marketing settings. This is where you're going to put your public address. I highly recommend making that a PO box just to keep that safe for your area. Do not put in the company logo because it will put it on all of your marketing emails. No one wants that. And then in your email settings, let me just get this out of here. Again, putting your name. This is what is going to show up on your newsletter and on your emails when they go out. So be sure to put that in there, putting your email address, your reply to email address, and then put in approximately when you want emails to go out. I usually do 6 a.m. PST. That's, 9 a.m. on Eastern Standard Time. And that usually is a good barometer roughly of when you want emails to go out. But if you are in EST, maybe you want it to be, 6 a.m. EST. I don't care. Whatever you feel like you want to do, depending on where you are in the world, you can set that up. Then we're going to go into checkout settings. Okay. So the way that I work around this, you have two options. So you know that especially with the EU, the GDPR has gotten a little bit more tightly wound. So they really want to make it clear that even if someone gives you their email, maybe they were just kidding. And so they should really confirm it. It's stupid, but it is what it is. So we're going to work with it. So you can do two things. You can have this optional where members can choose to be on your email list by checking an opt-in box at checkout, which is great. You can do automatic, which is what I do, which says that it'll be hidden and members will be automatically added to your email list when they purchase something from you. Or you can have disabled where the checkbox will be hidden and members will not be added to your email list. So this is new. I would recommend clicking that because what I have is a workaround that does the exact same thing. It's nice to know that Kajabi has made that recent adjustment, so you can literally just check that. Otherwise, I can show you when we start going into forms and opt-ins next week how you can build that. But you're going to want to do one of these two things, because if you click disabled, then that means that they don't really have the choice and you do want to give them the choice. Making sense? Okay. So click optional, easy peasy. And then if you need to do other codey things, then you can put that in here. I have deadline funnel in here. I think that's it on this one. And then I have evidence, which is kind of like proof when you go to people's sites and a little thing pops up saying, oh, so-and-so recently bought this. That's what evidence is. So I have those here. Like I said, you don't really need to worry about this unless you are starting to get into ads and that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's go into the blog settings. If you have a blog, it couldn't be easier, right? You put your page title, blog, you put a page description, you put a photo. It's literally kind of embarrassing how simple it is. So, and just a quick little overview, this is my blog here. So you can host everything here. You can adjust the URL. We'll be going over that, but just know that you can very easily go through your entire blog inside of Kajabi. Okay, this is if, like in Tanya's case, she has a course. Let's say she wants to drip out the course content. If that's true, and I'll show you how to do that in the product later, but it's always nice to set here when approximately you want those drip emails and those drip notifications to go out. So for example, I have Podcasts Weekly that is on a drip system. It comes out once a week. And so I've set it to unlock at 10 a.m. PST and to send an email to members so they know that the new category is available. Saves me a little bit on the back end with automation. It's all taken care of here. So all I have to do inside the product is just select drip and day 1, day 7, day 14. Kajabi takes care of the rest by letting people know that content's available to them every week at 10 a.m. PST. Making sense? Okay. So now, goodness, get out of here. We've gone over this. Okay, subscription cancellation. This is where you can just toggle the switch and this will enable your members of your course, if it has recurring payments or your month-to-month subscription, to be able to self-cancel. So I have that available on the Visibility Lounge and Podcast Weekly. So those are both subscription-based products. And that makes it really, really easy where I can show you actually right here inside of the lounge. Let's go over here. If they were to just log in, I have a little thing here that says, need help? If you're looking to cancel your subscription, you have the power to do so anytime under account settings. So they can literally go up here to their account settings. Let's open that. Oh, sorry, hang on. It's like, you're not logged in. Okay. And they can, this was granted to me because I granted it to myself, but they would be able to see here where they could cancel their subscription. So if that felt a little confusing because you're like, wait a second, well, what if they have multiple course payments? Like, can they cancel those payments? No, this is just month to month subscriptions or like a yearly subscription. So not multiple payments to have access to one product, but an ongoing subscription. Making sense? Okay. Fantastic. We're just going to blow through these settings because I don't want anyone to feel confused. This is what you're absolutely going to need to do. So hopefully you can do this later today. Integrate your payment software. So I recommend doing both Stripe and PayPal. That way you have the option to decide if you want to offer both or just one. If you want to know my personal preference, I have no problem with Stripe and PayPal for courses, but for a monthly subscription, I only offer Stripe. This is because people can go into the back end of their PayPal and they can toggle a little thing that says cancel automatic payments. And Kajabi doesn't understand that. No software understands that. So any like Teachable, any of that would not understand that and would be able to keep access. So when it's an ongoing subscription, I do not use PayPal. I only use Stripe. Okay, this is going to walk you through it. So it's literally going to say like add Stripe, add PayPal, and you can go through the steps to do that and link those together. Stripe will prompt you to create a new Stripe category. So I just literally call mine Stripe Kajabi. Really creative, I know, but that way I know exactly what it is, and all of my payments that come through for Kajabi are all in that one category. Okay. Third-party integrations. This is if you're using a different email software. I don't recommend that, but some people do. They love ConvertKit or MailChimp or ActiveCampaign, and so they want to be able to connect that. So know that if you do that and you don't really want to move your list over yet, you can absolutely do that. You can also put in your Google Analytics ID, which I recommend. Even if you're not running ads yet, this will be a wonderful foundation so that you will be able to track your data. You'll be able to log into Google and be like, oh, look, I've had this many people to my website or whatever. And also putting your Facebook pixel, put it in now, because if you want to create something down the line, it'll start tracking those metrics ahead of time. Really important. Then if you need to, like for example, for a while I had ClickFunnels in this for some reason, you can put that in here, but you don't have to. You can also connect it to Zapier. You know, the sky's the limit. So that's really nice to make things easy. All right, email templates. You can go through here and customize these if you'd like to. Do I? No. But if you'd like to, if you're really designy and you would love for it to look unique and beautiful, you can go through and do that and do it beautifully. So like offer purchase confirmation, you can come in here and you can edit that up and all that if you want. For me, no thank you. I have better things to do with my time, but maybe you don't, you'd like to. Just kidding. Okay, custom domain, you can do all that setup here as well. It'll walk you through that step by step, but I recommend getting that headache done with, because the last thing you want to do is move everything over and then be dealing with a site issue. So do that, just because who knows, like for me, I did it through Cloudflare, and Cloudflare had a bit of a DNS problem. So it took me like 6 days. So I'm not saying that's going to happen to you. I'm sure yours will be smooth sailing. It's just for me, if a tech issue is going to happen, it's going to happen. So just give yourself a little bit of time. Alrighty, fields. I don't mess with anything there. I don't particularly find that interesting. And then mobile app settings, you'll want to go here and make sure that you upload an icon for your app, that you choose a color palette for your app. So mine's that blue. Arthur, his will probably be this red. And then you can put, what this means here, this member library banner, means that if someone logs in on their laptop or desktop, you can have a little banner that's at the top saying, hey, get the app. That's all that means. So you can toggle that on if you'd like. And then they're saying, oh, email your people. I really, don't need to. I do a little custom thing in the getting started area, walking them through how to set it up on their phone. So you can do that as well. Okay, so here's where you can find your account details. That's where you have like your email address and your password and your mailing address and stuff. You can change your account password there, obviously. You can add or remove users. So like if you have a VA and you want them not like using your password, but you want to add them as a user, you can do that. Billing, if you need to update your credit card. Notifications and privacy emails, you can change that. Contact info for how Kajabi can get in touch with you. And then the one thing I do want to cover is the lightning loader. Turn that on. That's going to improve your load time. And especially with the new themes that Kajabi is using, including what's called the Encore Builder, it can just be a little bit slow. So we want to make sure that we don't really have to deal with that. Okay, any questions on the overall settings of the account? I know it's boring. I know you probably want to die, but it's good to cover it just in case. So if you're setting things up and you feel panicked, you can go back through this video and be like, okay, Michelle's going to walk me through this and I'll remain calm. So any questions so far? No? Okay, great. So let's go into website. This is where you're going to get started. Some people say, well, I have my homepage over here. Do I have to move it now? No, you don't. But it's pretty easy. So I don't really know why you wouldn't. It'll take you, maybe a day to get everything moved over. So this is what you're going to do. This is where you can preview it. This is where you can manage the theme. This is where you can adjust your navigation. So we're going to go into manage themes first. So as you can see, I have Premiere right now. So if you want to copy me, if you like mine, you can do that. If not, go up here and you're going to see two options. Upload theme. This is if you've purchased a theme that you want to use. This is if you have a custom designer. Otherwise, if you're boring like me, you're going to go to pick a theme. And it's going to give you so many options, endless possibilities. So what you can kind of do is scroll through and just figure out the one that you like the look of. Like this one has a lighter header. These two are darker. You can just kind of look through and see what you like. Me personally, I'm old school, so I go to the Kajabi legacy themes. As you can see, Premiere is here and they have all these other pretty ones. It's just fantastic, but just, whatever you feel like. But if you want to be quick and easy, then I do recommend using the Premiere theme. So in terms of your navigation, this is what's going to be at the very top of your website, right? So let me bring that up really quick so you can see it. Okay, let me pause the brand video. Hang on. Stop it. Stop. Okay. So up here, this is the navigation. So what I've done here is I've added each link. So stage 1, 2, 3, 4, this is for the Visibility Lounge navigation. This is for the main menu on my website. So home, blog, podcast, tools to love, and my trainings. You can do whatever you want. You could have your about section. You could have your blog. You could have your YouTube channel. You could have your courses or your work with me, whatever you feel like. But this is where you're going to add that, and you're just going to put the direct link to where that page exists. Alrighty, so let's go into the actual customization. You're going to click customize, and this is going to come up. Have a little bit of tea here. All right, so you're probably, let's say you choose the Premiere theme, they're going to have like 5 sections in there for you. You can start with those, customize those, enjoy that, or you can always go down here and scroll to the bottom and click add section. So for example, this is a text section. This is a video section. These are, shocker, text sections. This is a photo and text section, photo text, logo section. This is called a hero section. That's why it's got a photo behind it. It's kind of pretty and it has the call to action button. This is a custom script section where I've put in 3 videos, 3 text, similar stuff here. So that's just an example of kind of how you can build something. But if you want to add a section, you're going to click right here and you can choose. And what's nice is you can like click accordion, and before it officially adds it, it shows you what it's going to look like. Obviously you can customize the colors, you can customize the spacing and stuff, but you can go like, oh, I can put my FAQs here. I like the accordion. Or if you wanted to put a little assessment, maybe you want someone to fill out some information before they book a call with you, you could put that in there and it's going to prompt you to put in the questions. Maybe you want to put in a countdown timer. It's going to show you what that kind of looks like. So it's going to take you a little time to scroll through and figure out exactly what you want, but I would just take some time and go through them one by one and be like, oh, a call to action. I can take out all that text and imagery if I want and just have the button, or I can make it look fancy. If you want to put in Facebook comments, I do this on my webinar pages. You can do that, and that's going to, look like this. If you want to put in features, you can do that. So the thing up here that has these side by side, that's a feature column. If you want to put a text heading, you can do that. Hero, I showed you what that looked like, but that's nice and pretty and gives you that kind of overview. An image gallery. So technically this is an image gallery. It's just, this is a GIF, but those are just photos. You can put in a link list. You can put in a logo list. So if you want to put in some of your logos of what you've been featured on, great idea. If you want to drop an offer, opt-in form, you can see. You can just kind of go through and choose the look of what you like. But what I like is that it's easy. It's kind of like Squarespace where you could insert different things, but what I love is the preview of being able to see kind of what it is and then being able to officially add it if I want to. So the other cool thing that you can do is you can drag and drop. So you can move these things around, right? So these logos I think are invisible, but I can just click on that and say show. And then there we go. They pop up. So you can move it around however you want, just makes things simple. Any questions so far? Nope. Helen's giving me this look like you're just on fire. Even if you don't mean it, I'm going to take it like that. Okay, then you can put in your footer. The things that I recommend, put in your copyright symbol. Even if you don't have your trademark registered yet, at least put like a copyright sign or a TM on there so people know. So I show my footer, I show my copyright. I don't put in the logo because it just gets to be too much, but you can. My logo can be very obnoxious, so I'm sure yours is much prettier than mine. I do show the menu in the footer here. So these are my terms and conditions. It links to a separate web page which lists them, and then my privacy policy separate page that lists them. You might be thinking, Michelle, why the heck do I need terms and conditions and a privacy policy? Because it's legal, and I'm not giving you any legal advice. I'm not a lawyer, blah, 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 but you really need to have those. So be sure that you do that just so that you're compliant, and you can find those anywhere. My friend Bobby, what's his last name? Bobby, I'll find it. He's great at it. Zara Watson has some good ones. The Contract Shop has some good ones. You can literally just Google terms and conditions, privacy policy, and find people that have really great ones. I'm just going to look up his name. Klink, K-L-I-N-C-K. So maybe I'll list some of those below so you'll have those. So yeah, I show my social icons. I link those to all my things. You never know. I put in all those links here. And that's it. I don't know what Flickr is or Dribbble, but if you have those, feel free to put those in too. So that is the basics of building your web page. You can also put in an exit pop-up. You know how those things are like, hey, are you sure you want to leave? Like, don't you want to go here? You can put that in here too with a simple click. Here's the key. You need to click enable pop-up and you need to click edit pop-up for it to show. Okay? Okay, some people will get a little confused. Then they're like, why can't I get away from this? You need to unclick edit pop-up and it will go away, okay? Here it is, there it goes. Okay, so then you can actually say, when do you wanna reveal it? So for example, the pop-up will show on exit intent or when the timer finishes, whichever occurs first. So if you want to, you can leave it at 10 seconds if you want it to literally pop up when they're on your page. Otherwise, I think if you leave it at 0, then it'll just come up when people are going to exit. then you can actually select, hey, if they come back to my website, they don't need to see that pop up for however many days. If you don't care, put 0. I recommend having an image. Like I showed you, I had a little mock-up, and then I'm linking them to my free community. Then you just put a call to action, which is the button, and that's it. So if you want an exit pop-up, that's what you can do. All right, settings. The reason why this is important is because you'll need to upload what's called a favicon, which is the little things right here. See that and that and that and that. Otherwise, it will all show up as the Kajabi logo. So what you'll do is you'll click on favicon and you will upload an image. You can do a little circle with my photo like you see here. As you get lazy down the line like me, you can just select a random photo and upload it. You know, at this point, I don't really care. Or you can have your cute logo if it's a little circle or a square and have that pop up for every page. But you'll just want to do that because otherwise someone's going to be like, oh, look, a Kajabi page, right? So change your favicon. You can change your typography. You can change your heading font color, your overall font color, your light font color, and you can also select your fonts here. So feel free to do that to your heart's content. As you can tell, I'm pretty lazy when it comes to that stuff, not fancy at all. Color scheme. This is the one thing I do adjust. I have my primary as my signature brand color, so you might want to switch that just so that that will pop up on your designs on this page. Then you can change, you know, all your other kind of colors. You can change your page background if you want, whatever you want to do. You can change your message colors if you want. I don't really care about those, but you can. You can set a password recovery, a password reset, and you can add disqueeze comments if you want. I do this on my blog, not on this page. All that means, all disqueeze means, however you say disqueeze, whatever, all that means is that it is literally a box at the bottom of your blog that you can put in there that will enable comments. That's all it means. So you do not have to worry about that right now, but just in case you were curious, that's what that is. Any questions so far on putting together your website? Relatively clear. I'm going to take a second. I'm going to unmute everybody. How are we feeling so far? Does anyone want to hurl yet? If so, it's normal. I don't know if I can unmute you guys. You guys might have to do it. Feeling okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Hey, listen, when you're moving these videos and stuff, does it give you a grid to line the videos and things up on? So how, I know it's probably just you grab and drop, but does it give you a grid on how to do the alignment?
So if you wanted, are you talking about like one video or multiple videos?
Multiple, like if you want to put
Okay.
3 or 4 videos in.
Yeah, sure. So in that case, what I would do, let me have this pop up here. Let me go down here. I would add a section.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would go to custom content. Then I would click add. And then, you know, you can put in your text if you want some. Otherwise, I usually take out the image and the overlay so it's nice and white. Then I come down here to spacing. If you're in the Encore, the new page builder, it's not going to give you this option. You'll have to go to background, desktop, and then actually put in numbers for spacing. I recommend 10 to 20, but if you're using the Premiere theme, you can just go here the lazy way like me and do extra small. Then you'll click add content video. And you will upload your video here. You can set it to autoplay. You can upload your default image. And then in container width, you could put, the spacing is 12. So then what I would do is have each video be 4.
And what do they upload as MPEG-4s or can you,
yeah.
does it do AVIs? Okay.
I don't know if it does AVIs, but the limit is 2 gigs.
Okay. Per video?
Say. Yes. Good. So, and then if, and just in case anyone's watching and you need to, you export a video and let's say it's 2.1 and you're like, just use Handbrake, really easy. It'll condense the image. So do this again and do 4. And then that should, oh, it's because the text block's on there. Hang on. We're going to delete this bad boy. Click on that. and just click delete this block, and then it'll put them next to each other like that. And then I would do one more video. Scroll down and then go to 4. Just like that. Easy
Cool.
as butter.
Mm-hmm.
Making sense?
Yep.
Okay. So what's nice is that you have flexibility here. Are you coding like on WordPress? No, you're not. But the great thing is you're also not paying a designer thousands of dollars to add a couple of videos in. Okay, so now that we've gone through designing your website, that's going to be the first piece of your homework. I would love to help you guys get everything set up as quickly as possible. So if you have extra time this week, I would take anywhere between, 3 to 6 hours to be able to get your website up and running, get your settings done. What I am going to do is walk you through the rest of this section just so that you have the information. If it's overwhelming, you can watch it on the replay, but this way at least you have it in case you're going through this week and you're like, wait, I'm further ahead than I thought. Pages. This means website pages. And you have 2 different types. You have your standalone pages and you have your pipeline pages. Pipeline is a fancy word for funnel. So all this means is that you have 2 ways to store your pages. You have one independently, and as you can see, they're just all here. Or you can have them in a pipeline, which we'll be covering more next week. But this is if you want a really clean thing, like for example, here where I have my pipeline pages for my newest video series. And as you can see, it has the email capture form, the tripwire, the video pages, and the sales page. So you can do either, and depending on your plan, you probably, if you're on the growth plan, I think you get 10 pipelines, AKA 10 funnels. But just know, no matter what, you can build your pages here. All you need to do is click new page. So let's say you wanted to build like a thank you page. Let's say that Tanya, someone is coming to purchase your course, and then afterwards inside of offers, which we'll go over next week, it's going to give you the option to redirect them to a page. So for example, someone joins the lounge, they go to a thank you page and it says like, hey, so excited you're here. Click here to join the free community, right? Or not the free community, the paid community. And it gives them a little button. So for example, you could build that page out here and like right here. I could use this page and I could call it the lounge thank you page and just edit it to have that link to direct them there. Kind of making sense? Eventually, you're going to be building out all your stuff, probably mainly with pipelines, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew, hey, I can always build out my certain pages, my about section, my work with me page. I can do all of that here and then use that link to add to my navigation, which is probably what you'll be doing most this week. Your about section, your work with me, maybe tools, courses, free group, whatever. So that is pages. It's the same kind of build as what I took you through for a website page. It's just really, really simple. So let me see, what can we go into here? Here it is. So here is the You're a Member. I have no clue if this is for the lounge or for a course, so let's check it out. Here we go. You join the Visibility Lounge, opt in to notifications for events, and join the community. So whether they're on their phone, their tablet, their desktop, this is what they see after they purchase. And that's nice. Takes them to whatever they need for the next step. Okay, the next one is blog. So if you want to host your blog, you can absolutely do that inside of Kajabi. All you're going to do is click new blog post. I'm going to bring this up just so you can see one that's already established. And it gives you all kinds of, options and a really attractive face there. You can upload a video if you want that to be at the top. You can put in tags if you want. You can, of course, leave it to draft and publish it, or, schedule the date where you want it published. Put in your title, put in all your text, your calls to actions, your images, all that is here. You can adjust the URL. Remember to do a page title and a page description and an image for SEO. And then you can see what it looks like here. Is it the most beautiful blog platform in the world? It is not. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not, but it works. I've never had complaints. It gets really good traffic. My main visibility vehicle is going from Pinterest to here. So what I love is that I can create one page. I can put in my video, which is also my podcast episode, and then I can break down all of my text. I keep it really simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not, rocket science here, but I just make it really easy. And then I have the embedded disqueeze, or however you say it, if someone wants to comment. So blog, very simple. So if you're, and you can also, I have the link inside of the course that I'll be giving you access to today. If you want more information on this process of how to get your course or your new product more visible online, there is a course that I taught with Kajabi University. You'll have free access to that. So that will be available in the login area. And I'll try to remember to shoot you an email with it when we're done here. So any questions on building out your blog /podcast /live streaming show, whatever you want to put in this content? You can, of course, rename it podcast if you want. It doesn't have to be blog. Pretty clear?
Yep.
Wow, I'm surprising myself with my clarity today. Okay, analytics is how you're going to figure out exactly who's buying, how much you've made, so you can come in here and see like, okay, this is what I made over this is how many people have purchased. And like for me, sometimes I'll come in and go, oh, someone new joined the lounge, like he did a couple days ago. And I make sure that I have the Bonjoro so that I can send him a little video. So that's nice. You can go into your subscription metrics, and this will actually show you how people are consuming your product and what, like your churn rate, your forecast, so it does a lot of stuff that you don't necessarily have to worry about. But if you really cared, if I really cared, like how many people are leaving my membership versus how many people are coming in, I could come in here and look at this. And, my churn rate is awesome, which is great. You can go into how many opt-ins. You can see how many people are opting in. So this is the last 30 days here. And I can see actually what they're opting into the most. So what's nice about this is that I can come in and go like, oh, wow, the majority of my opt-ins were for the color quiz. Therefore, maybe I'll tell my Pinterest manager, hey, boost the amount of pins that we're doing for the color quiz. And you can also see what landing pages they're viewing. So opt-in form by submissions means that they've gone to the page, they've put in their email and hit enter. Landing pages by form submissions means that they hit that thank you page. Making sense? Alrighty. And then let's see. Page views, if you want to see which pages are your most visited, if that's interesting, then you can definitely do that. You can see here, it's mainly the podcast, the lounge sales page, the color quiz opt-in, the Hollywoodpreneur quiz, and then other, which I'm assuming are the pages inside of the membership. And offers by views, you can look at that too. You can kind of see how things are going. Let's see. Product progress, this is what I meant when I said that you can actually see how people are consuming the content. So let's go here into the lounge and I can see how many times people have logged in, how far they've progressed inside of the lounge. So like I have a lot of lounge content. So I know, wow, Vanessa's killing it. Monica and Kathy are doing well. Emmanuel is doing well. Melinda, but I can actually go in and kind of see how things are progressing and possibly send out little emails and be like, hey, Robin, have you logged in? I see you've only logged in a couple times. You haven't consumed anything. And, obviously nicely, but you know what I'm saying, that you can go in and see how your members are doing, which I think is just fantastic. Okay, offers sold. So you can show everything that's been sold in a given time frame. So you can see, what people have bought, when they bought, that kind of stuff. This, like I said, I only kind of look at the overall analytics, but some people really like to look at the other stuff. And then you can look in terms of how your affiliates are doing, see who's generating the most traffic, etc. Any questions on analytics? Feeling good? Okay. So I don't want to overwhelm y'all with too much information. I'm only a minute behind. It's amazing. Okay. So do we feel confident with building out our website and our settings with what we covered today? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What I would love to see, I want you to take advantage of this 28-day trial. I want you to see if this is going to be a system that works for you. And the best way you can do that is taking as much action as you can to get this stuff up and running. So next week, what we're going to do is we're going to be digging into the product and marketing section. And this is where I'll show you how to set up, like in Tanya's case, her course, in Arthur's case, his membership. And we'll go over all of those nitty-gritty details. And we'll also be going into offers so I can show you how to set these up. Okay. And that way you can know all the little nitty-gritty details and not miss a thing. But in the meantime, I'm going to open it up for any other questions. Anything I didn't cover you want to chat about?
Yeah, it seemed pretty concise.
Annoyingly detailed, isn't it?
I know, terrible.
So the bottom line here is don't feel overwhelmed. You can always email me and ask some questions. Like I said, you are learning a new language. So there are going to be some times where you log in and you just feel frustrated, and that's okay. That's true of any platform. But the nice thing is if you have someone there, they can lead you through it, walk you through it step by step. It just feels a little bit safer. So just be comfortable in that feeling, know that you can reach out to me, and do as much progress as you can so that we can start getting at least the product and the offer skeleton up next week. And then you can work on filling out the content and getting that done. I think that'll be really exciting. Okay. Well, if we don't have any more questions, then I'm going to quit the recording here. I'll be sending you all access to the course, and then you can log in there and catch this replay.
Great. Good job.
That's good.